I've been out of work 4 times in my life. 3 times I've been fired. 1 time my job was eliminated. Now, my boss passed out at a Christmas party and cracked his head open on the toilet. Nothing gallant in that demise. So, here I am at his funeral, waiting to drive to the cemetery. I hate popular funerals. Too many cars. There's a lot of friends to be made over the sale of a box of brass screws. Well, I guess. Unpopular funerals are easier. For this one, they should have rented a football stadium. But that wouldn't have done me any good because I'd be stuck up there in the bleachers with sun in my eyes for sure. You can't always tell a popular funeral till you try to park. Whew, it's as cold as the Arctic Circle. Who'd come out on a day like this? I think my boss's wife has a bladder control problem. I'd have a hard time even facing a toilet if I were her, since her husband is dead because of one. If I were her, I'd go look for a urinal and take my chances. With a urinal, the worst thing that can happen is to fall and dislocate your jaw or bust your nose. Urinals will always keep your brains intact. They stand neat and tidy against the wall. It is a cold day. When I moved here, everybody told me that the winters weren't all that bad, so I didn't think I had to fix my car heater. Like I had any money for it anyway. So, not only is my broke ass broke, it's frozen. All the while, my dead boss's wife is stuck back there at the funeral home waiting in line for the ladies' restroom. Some funeral homes aren't fitted out with enough toilets to accommodate the popular funerals. I was forced out here because there was no room to stand. But as I was going out the door, I noticed that the women in line weren't crying or anything. They were just standing there holding it. Now, that's good for me. Because when the ladies are snorting and sobbing, they always run to the restroom to fix their makeup, which makes the lines even longer. And then in my obit, it'd read, "Frozen to death." I don't know why I'm here. Last night, I found out that my dead boss's hardware store will close. It won't be sold. It will just close. I'd buy it and put some money into it, fixing it up. That's if I had any. So that job makes number 5 for me. I hear the land it's sitting on is worth more than the store itself. Now, as far as wives go, I've had 3, and the third and current one is acting pretty bored. 1 divorced, 1 died, 1 sick of me. Wonder what she'd do if I cracked my head open on the toilet? Mine would be an unpopular funeral with a short line, so she wouldn't have to stand and hold it. That'd be at least convenient. There are more ways than ever these days to end up on the street. And then I think about Martha. I'd rather freeze to death right here on the spot than live a life like Martha's. See, when I was a kid, we had a shed in back where I used to keep homing pigeons. I know quite a bit about pigeons. I think about street pigeons, how they beg for food. I don't know what the real name is for a street pigeon, but I do know that most types of pigeons ended up with a rotten deal. They were done in by humans for one reason or another. About 100 years ago, there were around 6 billion passenger pigeons in North America. And that population dwindled down to just one. The only passenger pigeon left alive was named Martha, and she died at the Cincinnati Zoo in 1914. What do you think Martha was thinking when she took her last bird breath? I wonder sometimes. If I were the Cincinnati Zoo, I'd put Martha's bird body in something like Lenin's tomb. She's important. Pigeons lost their jobs. Who'd send any message anywhere to anybody carried by any bird when people figured out better ways? Just put out and cast aside. My toes are frozen corn kernels and not one sign of the boss's wife. When I walked into the funeral home today, my dead boss's brother whispered to me that the new widow would like to talk to me about something. I wonder what about. I did not take that money. And I know who did, and he's today's most popular corpse. And it wasn't his hardware store, it was her hardware store. Actually, it was her father's hardware store, who was an unpopular corpse 2 years ago. His funeral was faster than a Jack-in-the-Box drive-through. If she thinks I took that money, I'll let her believe it. This is her thieving husband's day of honor. The dirt is going to be on top of him for at least 12 hours before she knows the truth. And then I'll make sure she does. I've been to prison once. I'm not going back. In prison, mine was a popular funeral each and every day, if you get me. I thought that when I felt dead, I could just stay that way, but somehow I woke up every morning and died all over again. I think a tough life can make a person get smart or stay dumb. I like to think that I've been on my way towards smart for a few years now. It's all about moving in the right direction. But first, a person has to stand there for a while. Stand there in line. Stand there frozen. Stand there because you think you're the last of your kind. And what if you are? Who needs you? You stand there so long, you get a belly full of it. Well, I'm just about there. Why can't somebody design a ladies' urinal to shorten the lines? A toilet is a waste of space if you don't have to deal with the chunks. Something that they can sit into, not sit down on. Maybe like a side saddle on top of a horse. Maybe they can jiggle around and you could give them a good ride. Okay, here she is. Okay, here we go. I have something she can sit down on. Whew, I like her shape. I wonder what she wants to talk to me about. I did not take that money. Let's see here. I think we get a gun. My toes will thaw. There will be warmer days. But not today.